A new state law went into effect last summer, criminalizing camping on public property, and many argued it would impact the homeless, forcing them to relocate.
Now, one man is working on a project to highlight how the law is impacting Tennessee's homeless population. Miranda Whittington spoke to him and shares what he's learned so far.
It's the stories.
He was talking about how hard it was for him to get access to shelters or spaces to stay because they don't have ADA accommodations.
That Terrence Lester is hearing here on the streets of Nashville.
You know, I was talking to one individual and he said, you know, I got a ticket and I have a fine, but how will I pay the fine? You know, and I get caught in this cycle.
The cycle of homelessness is something Lester says people rarely learn from those facing it.
We never get a chance to hear the emotions, the stories, the narratives from their perspective.
A PhD dissertation and a law led this Georgia native to the volunteer state.
I was tasked with, you know, this task of finding a policy problem, and it was around the time when the bill was actually being formed and about to pass.
Last July, Tennessee's anti-camping law went into effect, making camping on a public property a felony.
If I'm honest, I just broke down crying.
Lester knew this law would have a serious impact on the homeless.
I found out that there are actually more people who are unhoused in the state of Tennessee than beds that are available.
So he decided to focus his PhD on the implications of this legislation. This week he's traveling through Tennessee, talking to the homeless and community leaders for research.
Many of the individuals that I've talked to just want to be seen, want to be heard, and want to have the same accessibility to safe space as every other person, and given opportunities to get themselves out of the experience of homelessness.
It's those stories he's hearing that Lester hopes to share with others once his work is complete.
You know, when you talk about the subject of homelessness, oftentimes it lacks compassion, and that needs to change.
Now, Lester is creating a documentary of his journey here in Tennessee as part of his dissertation. He'll head to Knoxville and Chattanooga later this week and hopes to come back to Nashville with his finished project to showcase to lawmakers. Alex?